I got 6 events. Why would I negotiate with someone to only do 1 event when I could get a better rate if I negotiate with them to do 3 events? People feel like planning is prison, planning is freedom. This is a form of automation. Like, when are you doing date night? Oh, babysitter's already booked. So now you're not stressed. Now you're not like, we ain't been on a date in 4 weeks. You don't love me. No, like, did you plan the babysitter or not, sis?
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, and I'm so excited to be back with another solo episode. This time, get your pens and papers out because we're talking about annual planning. We got a comment on our last video that was like, hey, can you go more in detail about how you plan your year and what that looks like and what we should be considering? And I was like, yeah, girl, I got you. So shout out to Laura for that comment. And that's exactly why you all need to subscribe and comment right now, because I read all the comments diligently, and every now and then we get great episode ideas from you. My name's Ashley Kirkwood. I've built a multi-7-figure company based on events and our sales strategies. And so now we teach other entrepreneurs how to sell more stuff. And I want to make sure that you are selling all that you can in this year and the next. So let's get into it. All right, I'm going to head over to the whiteboard. Okay, so first things first, I think about what is my revenue goal. Let's categorize this money goals, okay? Boom, you know we get right into it here. If you're new here, just follow along, Google me later, look up my accolades, trust what I'm saying, okay? One, we plan our revenue goals, right? But then we also want to plan our savings goals. And this is actually, there's 2 categories of savings. For us, we think about our business savings goal, and then I think about my personal savings goal. Then we want to also plan our profit goals. Like, how much profit do we want to make on our top line revenue? What is our net profit goal? And then after we have these numbers, then I'm looking at how many units of my current offers do I have to sell in order to reach these goals. And then after that, I plan what activities do I have to do in order to reach those goals. So let's break this down really quickly. So let's say revenue goal for 2025 is $5 million, okay? If the revenue goal for 2025 is $5 million, then my personal savings goal, $500,000. Business savings goal of $1 million. Now, net profit on this $5 million, $2.5 million. Now, when you're making these numbers at first, you're just gonna write down the numbers that you believe, right? And then what will end up happening is when you look at how many units you have to sell in order to make that possible, and you look at your current expenses and you look at your current profit margins, you're gonna identify whether or not this is reasonable for your business, okay? So from here, we look at, okay, what are our offers? Now, let's say I have 2 core offers. Now, we have the Speak Your Way to Cash Mastermind. And then we have something called the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership. Now, I'm gonna write down some pricing. We have mastermind tiers. Our mastermind is anywhere from 30 to 100K. For the purpose of this example, we're gonna use $35,000. For the membership, it's $2,000 per year, okay? How many units would I have to sell of these 2 offers in order to make $5 million? Let's assume we move 100 units of the mastermind, and let's assume that we move $3.5 million. Actually, I should have known that. Right? So if we move 100 units of a $35,000 mastermind, then that brings in $3.5 million. So our gap is $1.5 million for our goal, okay? So now we're gonna divide that by 2,000, which is the cost of the membership. So the number there is 750. We need to move 750 units of the membership. Now, at this point, the thing that I would think about is like, how many units have we moved already of the mastermind? Have we ever moved 100 units of the mastermind? And we have. We've sold over 100 units of our mastermind. Now, here's the thing. I think at the top, our mastermind had like 110 women in it. So you think about the mastermind, you have the mastermind 100 units, you have the membership 750 units. Okay, cool. This is great. But if you stop here, then what'll happen is you won't necessarily have a full annual plan. So now you need to figure out what are all of the activities that I need to do in order to move 100 units of our mastermind. Now, for some of you, you may have never moved this many units of a particular service. In that case, you're going to have to hypothesize or hire a coach like me, and I will tell you what it would likely take. But if you are not able to do that, you're going to have to hypothesize. And I always recommend you plan for more activities than it actually takes, than you think it'll take, okay? So then we're going to have to think about, okay, what are all the activities I need to do in order to move 100 units of the mastermind? What are all the activities that I need to do in order to get 750 people into the membership? And I look at what are our current numbers in both of these programs and what did it take to get those numbers? What was the ad spend it took to get those numbers? What were the expenses affiliated with getting the numbers we currently have? And then I want to accelerate those results by increasing. What do you increase? You don't increase everything. You don't just hire more people. You don't just do more of everything. You increase your marketing efforts. So if I know that I spent $600,000 on ads and that got me to 200 members of the membership, this is just as an example, because we did not actually use ad dollars to fill our membership. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day, how we launched it, all that kind of stuff. Let's say we spent 600 grand on ads. I got us 100 people in our mastermind, okay? Then I'm gonna know, okay, well, I wonder if I were to increase my ad spend or decrease my cost per lead. So either increase the ad spend or decrease how much it costs me to get that many people at my launches to actually sell them into the program. That's what I'm gonna have to look at next. What are all of the activities that I'm gonna have to do? And then you get into your actual, like writing down the dates on your annual plan. Another part of this, guys, is like, if you know our profit margins this year, we don't have our final profit margins, but we were anywhere between, we were right around 30% profit margin. If I want to increase that to 50%, I'm going to have to look at the areas where we have the most spending and figure out, are those areas that we can decrease without decreasing profit? Or if we decrease those areas, or without decreasing revenue, if we decrease those areas and it also decreases revenue, then it won't necessarily work. But I can look at things like, can we do more organic marketing to get people in? Can we lower our cost per lead by having better creatives? What's the industry standard? How do we get it lower? Who can teach me how to get it lower? Like, those types of things are things that we can consider. But the next part of this is your activity goals. So if I know that this year we did a lot of launches this year, but let's say next year I want to do 6 launches. And I already know how many units of everything I want to move. Then I need to figure out what needs to happen at those 6 launches. What are the dates of those 6 launches? And then what are my individual activity goals for all of those launches? Like, how many people need to be at each launch? What conversion metrics do I need for each launch? And when I say conversion metrics, guys, I just mean if 100 people come, how many of those people do I need to get to buy to be on track to reach my goal? Okay? I hope y'all are following this. If y'all are following this, let me know. So now we have all of our activity goals and we map those out. So the 6 launches, what are going to be the dates of the 6 launches? Well, I want to block those dates off in 2024 for 2025. That way I can start budgeting and planning, because one of the ways that we are going to increase our profit margin next year is by planning in advance and bulk negotiating with vendors. What do I mean by that? If I know I got 6 events, why would I negotiate with someone to only do 1 event when I could get a better rate if I negotiate with them to do 3 events? If I know I have 6 events and they're all good, I got to fly my team all over the country. Okay, I need to book those flights as early as possible so that I can get preferred rates. I need to reach out to hotels and see if I can get influencer deals so that the rate comes down on the hotel. I need to do things in advance and get sponsors for our tours instead of just going on tour within 30 days where you don't have time to get sponsors. So the earlier you plan, the better your profit margins. We saved so much by having our hotel for 2025 already. We already have all of our 2025 tour dates booked. All of the hotels are now booked. All of those contracts are now negotiated. We were able to negotiate excellent deals because we planned in advance. So this is why you plan in advance. So what are going to be the dates of those launches? Now, I'm not going to go into all of the activity goals that it takes to make a launch successful. That's going to have to be another video. But I want you to know that goes into marketing, launch, and sales planning. So that is kind of separate than our annual planning. A lot of the annual planning is like, what are the dates? We plan the names of the launch, high level. We also plan the goals for each launch. What does each launch need to do? And then we start planning like all of our marketing efforts for each launch. Pretend that says marketing, y'all. Y'all know what I mean. And then we plan the marketing efforts for each launch. And then I put all this into an annual plan, and then I present this to my team. I present this information and this data to my team. And a lot of what that planning looks at, it doesn't just look at what we're doing in the future. We go over our past metrics. Have you ever wondered what you would put in an offer to corporate? Well, for one day, I'm going to get with you and we are going to craft out your corporate offer, okay? We're doing the Your Corporate Offer Summit. And this is a summit where if you are someone who wants to sell to corporations, but you're wondering what to sell, then you need to make sure you're in the building because we are going to craft your $25,000 corporate offer together for free virtually. So no matter where you are in the world, you will be able to attend. Get your free ticket via the link in the description, and I want to see you there. We go over our past metrics, like what did we accomplish in the past? How much money did each launch make in the past? How many people showed up? What was our show up rate? What did we do to get people to show up? What did we do that worked? What did we do that didn't work? How many people who joined our mastermind participated in certain types of launches? We want to do more of those launches. We want to do less of the launches that didn't really result in new mastermind members. And then we want to make sure all of the numbers work out in the end. So when you're thinking about your dates, you're thinking about your names, you're thinking about your goals, you're thinking about your big marketing efforts. A lot of the marketing that we have to plan are also our promo dates. So not just the date of the launch, when does pre-launch content start for each date? So if I'm doing an event, like we have an event coming up, at the time of this recording, I have an event coming up on Friday. I knew that I have 1 week of pre-launch content, meaning I have 1 week to make posts about that event, 1 week to promote that event, 1 week to run ads about that event, and 1 week is not a lot of time. So if I only have a week, then I'm going to have to use paid advertising to push that message out faster, okay? Ideally, I like to give myself 3 weeks of uninterrupted time to promote one launch. So if I know that, then I need to put on my calendar, like I need to have a calendar that's like, yep, this is November, okay? And you got all the dates in November, and I don't just put on there the date of the launch, which may be here. I want to put on there, hey, I'm starting my pre-launch content up here. That way, I don't plan to partner with anyone else during that time. I don't plan to collaborate with anyone else during that time. I know that for these 3 weeks before this launch that's happening over here, I am fully focused on my particular event being successful. Now, here's some other things that I kind of talked a little bit about in the last video. And y'all are gonna have to go back and fill in these numbers for yourself. I know one of the things we do with our mastermind clients is I'll actually like show them our annual plan and get into the numbers, but I can't be putting all my business on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's just, most of y'all are great, but it's that 1%, you know what I mean? So you put all your goals for the year on there, but then there's other things that I like to plan in buckets, okay? So that kind of handles high level, the business bucket. So this is the stuff that I will present to my team. But another thing that I have is I have my personal bucket. And this is where business owners, we just forget about this. We're just like, I am my business. You are not your businesses. You are not your business because your business never needs a break. Your business may never need to close, but you as a human, you need breaks. You need to close. So plan your personal dates in advance. So for me, I like to put on there, when am I doing date nights? Because here's the thing, the good sitters get booked up quick. So I want to book all of my sitters in advance for 2025. I plan my hair, okay? Now, y'all judge somebody else. Me and my baby got standing hair appointments, okay? So she is going to get her hair done. I'm going to get my hair done. And similar to the good babysitters, the good baby girl hairstylist, our braider, shout out to Jasmine at Princess Hair Pizzazz. Now I done told y'all her name. Now she going to get booked up, Lord Jesus. Let me go. Before this video release, I'm booking all my 2025 dates. So y'all go ahead and book the other dates. But I plan our hair appointments, okay? You got to plan your nail appointments. Now, I don't like getting my nails done. I'm going to be honest with you. But it's a necessity. So I got to plan when I'm going to get my hair done, when I'm going to get my nails done. And then I also plan my spa appointments. Now, y'all gonna say this is bougie and this seems like a lot and whatever. We already planned to save money, okay? So this is after savings. We plan to do this. And you may find that after you plan all the things that you want to do, you're like, I need to make more money. So then you flip that other page back, and then you flip that other page back, and then you put the numbers up a little bit more. Or if you realize I'm only gonna have 30% profit margins, well then, baby girl, you are not gonna be able to save $1.5 million. You're gonna have to reduce those numbers. So when you're ideating, your big picture plan is not the time for you to be like, well, is this reasonable? Does this feel good? You wanna know how you're gonna know if it's reasonable? When you start planning the nitty gritty dates, when you start looking at your calendar in front of you on pen and paper and you start looking at all the activities you're gonna have to do to make that happen, and you're like, based on my resources, it's not giving reasonable, okay? And so one thing that you can do is you can have your reach goal, you can have your good goal, and then you can have your minimum goal. So your reach goal is like, this is what I want. This is, I'm shooting for the stars. This is if everything goes right. If everything happens the way I think it's going to happen, that's my reach. Then you have your like, this is good. This is my goal. And then you have your minimum goal. Like, this has to happen to keep the lights on. And you want to know what those three numbers are. Back to personal. So you're going to plan all this. Date nights are really important. I'm married. I celebrate 13 years in 2025, and we do dates. Hair, nails, spa. Other thing, I do a sabbatical every year. I'm not even going to try to spell that word. I'm a lawyer. I should be good at spelling, but, you know, when we write briefs, we have spell checks. Sabbaticals. So sabbaticals are important to us. We do one in January every year. Then we have family vacations. A big thing happened last year. I did a 6-week sabbatical, and then I didn't take any more vacations because it wasn't a part of the plan and because I didn't really plan far enough in advance for the sabbatical. So all year I was pushing it to make up for the revenue that we lost by being off for 6 weeks. And 6 weeks for me was just too long. I think a 3 to 4 week does me good, okay? So I want to plan all of that stuff, personal stuff. Then I want to plan what concerts or conferences do I want to go to. Now, let me tell y'all this right now. All of y'all listening to this right now, I'm going to give y'all a date for your annual plan. Speak Your Way to Cash Live is my annual conference. It is fabulous. You have not been to an event like this, so you want to make sure you're there. It is October 2nd to the 4th, okay, 2025. Put that on your calendars and go to speakyourwaytocashlive.com and get on the wait list. Shameless plug, but just block that on off. I'm helping you with your annual plan, so put me in it. You know what I'm saying? So then we plan all our personal dates. We also plan when we're going to visit family and when family is going to visit us. We don't really do pop-ups. I'm going to just tell you the truth. I'm not a pop-up person. So we plan all of that. And then there's some other personal things that we need to plan. And there's also some things that I automate. Now, you all saw like savings goals and things like that. If those are your savings goals, one of the things that you want to do is automate that savings. So you want to automate for your kids' college fund. I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying things that we automate. We automate our savings based on our goals. So that stuff comes out automatically. We automate our like IRAs and things like that. Like we automate a certain amount of money to go into that. We automate a certain amount of money to go into our investment accounts. We automate as much as we can for those types of things. That's important to do. So if you have these goals, after you set all your goals up, this is a form of automation. Like, when are you doing date night? Oh, babysitter's already booked. So now you're not stressed. Now you're not like, we ain't been on a date in 4 weeks. You don't love me. No, like, did you plan the babysitter or not, sis? You know what I mean? Like, you got to get the babysitter plan. You plan your hair, you plan your nails, you plan your spa. You know what you're doing. And I'm telling you right now, people feel like planning is prison. Planning is freedom. I thought planning was prison. I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm a free spirit. I'm a creative. No. You're not a creative, you're undisciplined. You know what I mean? I had to tell myself that and get it together. If you're busy and you plan to be busy, you plan to be in demand, you plan for your business to grow, you're going to have to plan. So these are some personal things that you're going to plan. And then on top of all of that, there may be some other things that you need to plan out as well. But you're just going to plan. You're going to plan everything that you absolutely can. Put all of your federal holidays and your state holidays on there and plan all of your kids' school activities if you're at that stage in your life. Shout out to the moms. But overall, this was just to get you guys thinking about planning and giving you a little more insight into what we do for planning. I wish we could go into even more detail, but I have some incredible content coming to you guys soon. And maybe we'll do more on this. But here's what I will do. If you're watching this and you're like, girl, I got questions. drop them in the comments. Subscribe to this channel and I'll read all of the comments that I can and respond. So go ahead and do this. And if you're going to plan, and it's going to be your year. It's like I'm planning 2025 and 2024 for the first time ever. It's going to be so good. Let me know if this was helpful at all. And maybe we'll come back and do some more stuff and give you guys some behind the scenes of our annual plan in more detail. Maybe I can't show you the whole thing. Maybe I'll show you a little bit more of our annual plan as well, okay? So hopefully you guys got value out of this. If you're someone, you're a business owner, you're like, man, Ashley, this was great. How do I work with you? You can join the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership, which is for entrepreneurs who want to make more sales in their business. It's our sales training community. It's incredible. It's a 12-month program. Go to pitchyourwaytocash.com and you can join the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership. It's absolutely exceptional. And come to Speak Your Way to Cash Live, which is where we open up seats to our other programs that could be great for you as well. All right, talk to y'all soon.
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. I need energy, need only good people that's around me. All the faith you can give, that's the recipe.